Well, hi there, soccer fans, and welcome to another edition of Onside. Well, you'll see I'm not Paul Lafferty. He's got a beard. Unfortunately, he's flat on his back. He's got a disc that slipped out, and so I'm here to stand in for him with our usual presenters. Delron Buckley, nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
And Budgie Byrne.
Pleasure.
A lot of interesting soccer going on, but the main thing asking both you guys is the transfer window closed last night. They spent £1 billion.
Good luck to them, yeah. Some desperate signings, in my opinion, James, especially from your boys, Arsenal.
I'll turn it up, please, man. We needed a central defender and we needed a striker. We got both of them. I don't know how good they are.
You'll soon find out.
You'll soon find out. Darren, what do you think of that?
Well, Arsenal, I see.
You'd like to be playing for one of those teams now, make a bit of money, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course. It was my dream back in the days, but now it's done and dusted, so I retired. And as you can see, I'm sitting here commentating and helping people out with bets. And as I said, as Buzzy said, against Arsenal, the signing of Mustafi, which I think it's a plus for them. He's a very good central defender and will help them along the line.
You see, Manchester United boys, they hate the Arsenal, so there's no way that they're going to say anything's any good about what happened with Arsenal. But I can say that they spend more money than anyone, as usual. Your manager got in early and bought the best players he could find.
That should be.
Yeah, it's like being a champion trader. You've got to buy the best horses. Well done to you guys. Let's talk about what we've got coming up in the show, and we're going to go to Africa Nations qualifiers. And let's get the first slide up so Delron can give us an idea of what's going on here. South Africa, Mauritania, that should be a walk in the park, shouldn't it?
Not really. It's a very interesting game. First of all, you got South Africa playing up in Nelspruit in Bombela, which is going to be very, very hot, probably 35 degrees. And if you see the stats, they only won one game, drew 3 and lost 1. And it's very difficult. They're sitting third on the group stage. They only have 6 points, and they need to win this game, definitely.
Can they win it?
Yeah, they can. If Shakes Mashaba puts the right team together, and I just think if he gets hold of a few players that played in the Olympic Games, which will help him along the line. The only problem is that Dolly at the moment, he's probably injured, so it's a doubt if he's going to start the game. If he does start the game, it'll be a big plus for South Africa, and I think they'll win this game.
That would be a great start because we need to get the soccer 6s, soccer 12, 13s, all those sorted out. Next game is Ethiopia, Seychelles. Ethiopia should walk this, shouldn't they?
Yeah, they should. They're second in their group. They have 8 points. It's going to be a very difficult game. Well, actually, Seychelles is out. There's no chance for them to qualify. So Ethiopia, they won't take this game light. I mean, they have nothing to play for. So they'll probably win.
Okay. Cameroon, Gambia?
Cameroon, Gambia, they qualified already. They're through. They have the easy boat to ride. So they're going to have Gambia coming to their home grounds. So they're not going to take the game serious because, as I said, they are qualified. They've gone through already. But Gambia, on the other side, they are out already, so they have no chance to qualify.
Yeah, they were in South Africa's group, They are in South Africa's group. Should be a walk in the park for Cameroon.
Yeah, so that's a banker bet. And then we go, our neighbours, Angola, who've been playing quite well against Madagascar.
Yeah, that should be. Of all the teams, we haven't got the betting up because for some unknown reason, it only comes out on a Friday. And I think that's a good bet, Angola. Of all the top teams, you won't get on. I don't think the Cameroons and the Ghanas and the top teams, you won't get on. But I like Angola.
Okay, so that seems pretty straightforward. Delron, you agree?
Yes, of course. Madagascar haven't won not one game.
Yeah.
If you see the stats, and now they're going to play in Angola, which I hardly think they're going to win.
Right, the next one's an interesting one. Ghana are playing Rwanda. Aren't they neighbours, those two?
I actually watched, I don't know, I watched the first game. And what was funny about it was Andre Ayew had scored against Man United for Swansea the week before. They went to Rwanda and it was a sandpit. Couldn't believe, I don't think it was a blade of grass. And the first time he touched the ball, the centre-half clattered him. He got up, there was dust everywhere. And he couldn't believe it. And he must have been thinking, I'm playing at home against Old Trafford the previous Saturday. Now I've got to come and play this. He was just shaking his head. They won 1-0. How they won, I don't know, but they'll destroy Rwanda at home. Yeah.
It's quite difficult, Delron, isn't it, playing for your country in some of these other countries? Some of the pitches are not very good, and you have a few problems there, don't you?
Definitely. I've been there, put the t-shirt on, and when I played in Europe, for me it was very difficult to come back and play for South Africa, especially in these countries when you go play in Burundi, and there's not even hardly even grass on the pitch, and then you have to juggle the ball on the field when it comes to you because it's bobbling all over the show. So it's
Keep it off the ground.
keep it off the ground. Yeah. So it's very difficult to play there.
Well, we see what they've got to go through, these guys. Nigeria and Tanzania.
Oh, one of the few games that has any meaning left. Nigeria need a draw, to reach the finals. They can't get a draw against Tanzania, then I don't know.
Yeah.
But they should win that one, especially at home.
Okay, and Cape Verde, Libya?
Cape Verde, it's a Portuguese colony.
Yeah.
That's where Nani comes from. And at home they play on I think it's a blue AstroTurf pitch. And they never lose at home. So you'd expect them to win there.
So you expect them to win, but they'd probably like to have their hero Jose Mourinho coaching them.
Yeah.
You got to have the speak.
One day maybe, but
Put you Manchester United boys under pressure. Do you agree with that, Cape Verde?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Cape Verde, they qualified already.
Yeah.
So they'll probably go into this game easy, free-minded. And Libya, they have no chance to go through because they're third with 4 points. So their chance of qualifying is very, very scarce.
Okay, then we move on to the next one, Mozambique against Mauritius. That could be quite interesting.
This is a very, very, very interesting group because you have as a Mozambique fourth in the group with 4 points and need to beat Mauritius to qualify. And you have Mauritius, they third with 6 points, also have to win. But Rwanda have to lose for them to go second through to qualify. So it's a very, very tight group.
Is it a draw game? Is it a game you can back the draw?
Mozambique, you
Yeah,
don't win.
Mozambique.
Yeah,
Both of you?
I think so too.
Gets their heads up, Mozambique. Senegal, they've qualified already. They played Namibia.
Certainties, Senegal.
Yeah.
Be a 1-20 job, I think, this, James. Yeah. But good team, Senegal.
Yeah. So they should be able to walk out. Yeah. And then Ivory Coast against Sierra Leone. They need a draw, Ivory Coast, don't they?
Need a draw, yeah. Strangely, they're the holders. Now, I haven't seen their squad, so it'd be interesting to see if the Toure brothers are in it or not. But they won the last AFCON, so you'd expect them to win at home.
Okay, well, that's the African Nations Cup. What would you make the best bet? What at value, Delron? Have you got something that you really think that we should get involved into? Mozambique, maybe?
Yeah, you could put your money in Mozambique, as this group is very, very tight. You got Mauritius, you got Mozambique, and if anything happens there, if Rwanda loses, Mauritius wins, then they go through. So Mozambique is the team you can put your money on.
Yeah, I think Angola could be the other team at a price.
Yeah.
If you don't want to take 1-20s, those would be the two games I think will be value. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to move on from there. We have World Cup qualifiers. Let's go and get onto the screen, and that's our first screen, and we've got betting here.
Yep. The World Cup qualifiers, the betting always comes out earlier, so it's nice. San Marino, the second lowest ranked team in Europe.
They're 20-1.
20-1. Azerbaijan, not that good a side, but they're far better than San Marino, so you'd expect them to get a result.
You can get the away win there. A draw doesn't come into it?
It could.
Yeah.
But, San Marino. Poof.
Okay. Then we move on to Denmark, Armenia. What do you think of that, Delron?
Yeah, of course. Denmark playing at home, definitely. Armenia.
They haven't been playing well, have they?
They haven't. You're right about that. But the problem is, as I said, they're playing at home. So when they're home, they're very strong. They have their fans behind him. And Armenia as a team, you can't underestimate them. But they haven't been showing any potential in the team the past few games they've been playing. So they'll struggle in Denmark.
They've only got one class player, Armenia. It's the guy United signed from Dortmund, Mkhitaryan. It's a one-man team.
Your man.
One-man team. Yeah. They've struggled. They've only got
another one that costs hundreds of millions.
You're going to buy James by the plums.
Okay, Kazakhstan, Poland. Quite interesting because I see Poland are hot favourites in this one.
Yeah, they are. The only danger I see is that Kazakhstan play on an artificial surface.
Yeah.
Now their club team Astana, They don't get beat at home when in the Champions Leagues. You know, Atletico Madrid couldn't beat them, neither could Benfica. But in their previous qualifiers for Euros, they drew 1 and lost 4. Should be Poland, but you never know with the Poles. You know, they've got Lewandowski and Milik. But, you know, you never know. This is one of the few games.
Lewandowski plays well for Poland as he plays for his club side. He seems to be a better player for his club side.
Yeah, he does. Also, in the Polish national team, you have Blachowicz. That also used to play for Borussia Dortmund and went to Spain. He's playing in Spain now. He's also a good player. He scored in the Euro, in the group stage or quarterfinals. And as you see the stats of Kazakhstan, they've lost 10 games at home. 10 home games they've lost. So that shows you that they're not strong at home. And Poland's a very quality strong team, which is hard to beat.
Darren, let me ask you about that as a professional footballer. Why is it that some teams are no good at home? You know, you'd think that home you've got to have an advantage.
Well, it depends where they're playing. Like when I discovered back in the days when I played for South Africa, the minute we played here in Durban, it was always sold out. The pressure was high. I mean, the fans were behind you, but everybody has high expectations. They expect the national team to win.
Yeah.
So a draw that doesn't come into the question mark.
Yeah.
You have to win. So the pressure is high. As you see, I think from Kazakhstan, when they played at home, the pressure is so very high that in a hot seat they have to win. That's why they can't win games after games, and they're losing 10 games in a row at home.
Okay, well, let's move on. We've got the next one, and this is the Saturday matches, by the way, is Slovakia play England. Now, you know, we all think England will always win everything, but will the new manager make a difference?
Hopefully, tactically, maybe, but same players.
Big Sam, does he know what's going on?
Yeah,
He's been dying for this job
I think
forever,
he's been lucky in a way. He's always been with an underdog. You know, you look at his Bolton, his Sunderland. When he was at West Ham, they got relegated, and he brought them up. He's a fighter, and he is well organised. How he can get that message to the players is another thing. Now, for me, it all depends where he's going to play Rooney.
Yeah.
You know, I think his legs are gone. I don't think he's the same player as he was, and I wouldn't play him. But pressure from above, and it's his first game, so you're more than likely start him. Remember in the Euros, they drew 0-0. England were in the same group, they drew 0-0. I know England were the better team. So this isn't going to be a cakewalk. They think they're going to Slovakia, and they've got that hatchet man at the back, Skirtle. There's going to be no prisoners taken there.
What's interesting to me, Delron, is Joe Hart going to keep his place at the back as a goalkeeper?
Well, it's very difficult for him, yeah. It's up to the coach to decide that. I mean, if you saw at the Euro, they weren't on top form. You know, there was a few mistakes he did here and there. But if I'm the coach of England, I would love to rotate and test other keepers out for the next competition. But as I said, I love my stats. So when you see in England, 10 games away, they've lost. 10 games away. So, and Slovakia is a very unpleasant team to play against. It's very uncomfortable, especially with the players like Mari Kamzik. He's a good quality player from Napoli.
So, on your stats, would you go win Slovakia in the draw, or would you go all three?
From my point of view, I think Slovakia will win.
Okay.
Yeah, I like taking risks.
Well, they're a price. You know, they're getting 2-1 for Slovakia to win. It would be a very good price, you would think. Okay, yeah. We're going to move on. Lithuania, Slovenia. How do we bet here? 23-10 looks like pretty even game. This.
Yeah, they were in England's group, the pair of them. And Slovenia won in Lithuania, but drew at home. This is an all three in the exotics. You know, Lithuania have got to win at home if they want to have a chance to try and get to the World Cup finals in Russia. Won't be easy, but you know, this is a game they're going to have to go for. Yeah.
So you'd back Lithuania?
No, I think the draw is a big player here.
Okay. Czech Republic, Northern Ireland. Interesting game. Northern Ireland been playing well. Delron?
Yeah, they've been playing very, very well. They a team you can't underestimate, and it's going to be a very interesting game, especially the Czech Republic. They have two players that retired from international football. Tomáš Rosický, he was a big plus for his country, but now he's retired. So it's going to be very interesting who they're going to play in the midfield as a holding, as a playmaker.
How do you read the game?
Well, I think it'll be a draw, both sides.
Are they stats draw orientated? you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from my point of view, yes,
Well
it
done.
is.
That's
it
what
is.
we like to hear, because it's hard to back the draw, isn't it? As a punting person, do you find it's hard to back the draw in a game?
Always. It's the longest 90 minutes if you want to go. You don't want it 0-0.
Yeah.
But there's one other absentee. It's another Arsenal reject, Petr.
Yeah.
He's retired from the Czech Republic. He'd played for years in the team, so I don't know who's going to replace him. It'll be a close game. Ireland will go there for the draw.
Yeah.
But I fancy the Czechs to sneak it. Yeah.
Norway, Germany. Germany should be good things, shouldn't they?
Yeah, well, Germany had a friendly game just, I think, a few days ago when they beat Finland 2-0. And I saw they played Forlan, that plays for Leverkusen, young, talented player, who played very, very well. And they had Max Meyer from Schalke 04. Also did well. I think he scored. He scored the second goal or the first goal. And with these two players playing up front, they're very, very fast players, technical players. And what I've seen in the German national team is that Jogi Löw is trying to rotate players. He's trying to find the perfect player at the moment, because after the World Cup, they won the World Cup. Now they came to Euro and didn't do well in the Euro. I just thought they were having problems, central midfield, looking for strikers. Because I know the German national team never used to play just with one striker up front. The last 2-3 years, they did away with that. But now they're trying to bring that back because they saw that the Euro didn't function.
Yeah.
So that's why they want now wingers. They're playing with two strikers. And it worked out perfectly. They beat Finland 2-0. So I think the game against, they'll win it. They'll win it, yeah.
Hard to back against the Germans, especially in the qualifiers.
Yeah. Okay. Romania, Montenegro. Romania, hot favourites.
Well, I added this team into my treble. You know, Montenegro, a poor side. Not that Romania any great shakes. I just think they're a little bit better than Montenegro. You know, I think I went for Romania.
Is that right?
Me too. Romania, good team, always disciplined. And when to play them away, it's difficult.
Okay, and then the last game of the qualifiers is Malta, Scotland.
The Scots can't win this. Strangely, that Scotland are in England's group in the qualifiers.
Yeah.
So you'd expect.
Away from home, does it make any difference?
You know, the pitches today,
Yeah.
it shouldn't, especially this time of the year. There's no snow, and not that I think they get snow in Malta, but
No, but can you find a flat pitcher? That's the
Malta.
thing. Delron, you ever played in Malta?
Yes, I played against Malta. We beat them, I think, 6-0.
Oh, well,
The final,
then.
yeah. So I know them very well. They're a team that don't win at home. Yeah, if their record, their stats is very, very bad. So if Scotland can't beat them away, then I don't know.
Okay, so we can be with Scotland quite strongly.
Yeah.
That's the business. Where do we go from here? I think we go into soccer sixes, don't we? Soccer bets.
exotic exotics, yeah.
Yeah. Right, well, here we go. Soccer bets for the weekend. We start with Friday, the 2nd of September. This is a soccer 10,
It's a soccer
Budgie?
10, James, yeah.
So those are the first 5 teams. And your tips on the right-hand side, Latvia, good things.
There should be. Just bear in mind that it's a friendly. But in all exposed form, they should be too strong for Luxembourg, yeah.
And you don't think South Africa can beat Mauritania?
They should do. You know, I always look to try and beat one or two good things. I just worry about South Africa scoring goals.
Yeah. So it could be a low-scoring
it
draw game,
should be.
or or 0-0 game.
That's what I think.
Okay. Sudan, Gabon.
Strange
All three.
game because Gabon have already qualified for the 27 because they're the hosts. Why they're being forced to play in a group is beyond me. They're a better team. Patrick Aubameyang, the African Player of the Year, he plays for the Gabon. He's a captain. But what team they're going to bring, nobody knows. That's why I've gone for all three, yeah.
It does make a difference to know what teams step onto the pitch.
Unfortunately, in the internationals, it's difficult because some of them like to keep everything behind closed doors.
Yeah.
So on all exposed form, that's what we've just got to take a chance on, yeah.
And then we go Shamrock Rovers, St Patrick's Athletic. That must
It's an
be
Irish Premier League game. You know, very strong at home, St Patrick's. A couple of points above. Shamrock's very strong at home. I've gone the home win and a draw.
Yeah. St Vincent and the Grenadines, is that somewhere in the West Indies?
Yeah, it's a CONCACAF, the North American qualifiers. Strangely, the US on top of the group.
Yeah.
If they don't win this, Jurgen Klinsmann, I think they'll leave him in St Vincent.
So that's the one we should be going for.
think
It's a must-win game. You like betting on must-win games?
Yeah, I think
don't
they're
you?
1-25 though, James. So that's the
one.
only drawback. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on and go and have a look at the second part of the Soccer 10, Honduras, Canada.
Yeah, a crucial game. Honduras need a draw to go through. So they're level on points. So Honduras can't afford to lose that. So I've gone one in the draw. Canada, well organised. It'll be a tight game, but slight preference for Honduras, but I've thrown the draw in. Yeah.
All right, Trinidad, Tobago, that's another West Indian side.
Yeah,
Guatemala.
should be too strong for Guatemala.
Yeah. Haiti, Costa Rica.
Well, Haiti haven't scored a goal, but Costa Rica need a draw to go through. And I'm always wary of, these good quality teams that they should go there and destroy them. But they need to draw, play for the first hour, close game, then they just
cruise a bit.
Just cruise. Joel Campbell, the ex-Arsenal guy, he's
Yeah.
gone to Sporting Lisbon on loan. He plays for Costa Rica. Yeah.
What is interesting is often I see you when unless you think they're good things, when the away side, you put the draw in as well, because quite often that happens, doesn't it?
Especially, we all think that they want to win, and as ex-players, you want to win, but you don't want to get beat. Now the home team will take a draw, Haiti. They haven't scored in the group.
Yeah.
So if it's 0-0, Costa Rica will saunter through. Manager will be happy. All the fans will be happy. And hopefully we'll be happy having put 2 and 3 in the exotics. Yeah.
Panama, Jamaica.
Yeah, Jamaica, one of the better teams in that region. They've got to win this game, which won't be easy winning in Panama. Wes Morgan, the Leicester City captain? That's his team. But he's missed a few games, and they've suffered because of it. It's a game, I fancy Jamaica, but winning in Panama is tough. So I've gone 1-2-3 there. Yeah.
And then El Salvador, Mexico. This one you're obviously very confident with Mexico.
Purely because of the amount of money, I had to find another banker, and they looked as close to a banker. They're already through. The only thing I worry about, of the 24 people that he's taken, players, 14 have come from the Mexican League, but they should be too strong in El Salvador. But likewise, they may just cruise. But it's a new manager, and he's not going to want to drop points in El Salvador even if they have qualified. Yeah. So I've banked Mexico. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to move on and have a look at the next soccer bet, which is the Soccer 6, and this is Saturday's bet. Yeah. And here we got some First Division
They're all League One teams, and unfortunately we only really get the highlights on the news. We don't really see many of their games. So it's all stats related, trying to work out strength of schedule and so on.
But these pools are big, Budgie, aren't they? Yeah. They're £1,000,000, these
As
pools.
long as the pools start, James, around 3-4 o'clock, the pools, yes. Some of the pools that they start at like 1:30, guys coming from work can't get their bets on. But the 4 o'clock pools,
All right, let's go through these. Bolton Wanderers, Southend.
We bankered Bolton. Purely, they're top of the league. They've won 4 and drawn 1 of their 5 games. They should be too strong.
Fleetwood Town, Coventry. Interesting. Coventry used to be quite a good side.
Used to be, but it's fallen off the radar. Interesting story about the guy who manages Fleetwood. His name's Uwe Rosler. Now, he signed for Man City about 15 years ago, and he became an instant hero because his dad was reported to have put the bomb that blew up Old Trafford. Don't know how true it is, but that was the story that was doing the rounds in Manchester when I was last there. Yeah.
Did he get a good signing fee?
Oh, must have,
Was it to tell his story or to play football?
Write the book, I think,
Write a book. Millwall, Bradford City.
These are 2 of the better teams. Bradford are the promotion favourites, and I've gone for them,
Would you back them to win the league, Bradford, or would you go
They were
for
11-2 to
Bolton?
win it. I like Bradford. Bolton got relegated last year. They've been taken over by a new consortium. So everything's rosy. The players are all getting paid now. But I like Bradford. They've been around a while, close up in those promotion tussles. So I've gone for them. It's a 1-2-3 game if you want to spend the money.
Yeah.
But spending the 196 Rand that we do, I've had to side with one of the teams.
Okay.
So I've sided for Bradford.
Oldham Athletic, Shrewsbury.
Well, that was Dean Furman's old team, Oldham Athletic.
Yeah,
I'd never heard of him
right.
until Oldham played Liverpool.
Yeah.
And they knocked him out the FA Cup, and he was superb in the midfield. And so that's the first time I saw him. So I'm going for Oldham at Shrewsbury. They're struggling, Shrewsbury,
So 1 and 2 you're going. You actually were looking for the draw as a result. Oxford and Rochdale?
Likewise. Rochdale were a good team last year, but they've struggled this year. Oxford got promoted. Hard to beat at home.
Yeah.
So I've gone for them.
Chesterfield, they've just come up as well, haven't they? And I see you think they can win this.
Well, AFC Wimbledon, bottom of the league,
Yeah.
struggling to score. You haven't won a game, so you've got to side one as well. Got to side with one of them. So I'm going for Chesterfield.
Okay, let's move on and have a look at the Soccer 13. This is always worth winning if you can.
Well, if you catch this, James, this depends on your bank balance and your
Yeah.
checkbook status. But very difficult. There's a bit of information I'll give you on match 7. But just going from the top, you'll see that we've bankered Bolton.
Yeah.
You know, I've gone 2 and 3, Port Vale in the draw. I've had to bank a Fleetwood purely because of the size of the perm. Millwall and Bradford, we sided with Bradford in the draw. Oldham in the draw. Oxford in the draw. Now, Game 7 has been abandoned, Scunthorpe and Charlton. Now, the Swedish rules are they have to play within 48 hours or it becomes a lottery. This has become a lottery. Now, what they do, they've got 16 balls that's going to go into, whether it's a hat, into a bowl, or into what. Now, the denomination is 11 of those balls are on the home team. 3 of the balls are on the draw, and 2 of the balls are on the away team. Now, they'll mix it up. And
Whichever
out
ball
a
comes
result.
out.
So if you're feeling lucky, bank at the home team.
Yeah, because you're getting,
Because you're getting 11 of the 16.
5 to 1 shot.
Yeah, you're getting 11 of the 16 chances.
Yeah. 1 to 5 shot, yeah.
Yeah. So in our exotic, I put 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
You know, but you can bank at the draw.
You want to go through, don't you? You know, and you don't want to end up with 12 out of 13 and miss on the game that was abandoned.
You know, so that's I went 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Purely, but a lot of people I think will bank at the draw depending on the size of their perms and take the chances that one of the 11 of the 16 balls comes out with a home
so
team.
it's 11 on the draw.
11 balls of the 16
On the
are
draw.
on the home team.
Yeah.
3 of the 16 on the draw and 2
So
on the
why
away
would you
team.
bank at the draw? There's only
No,
3
bank at the
balls.
home team.
Yeah, bank at the home team.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on and have a look at the next slide.
Yeah, we went Chesterfield in the draw again.
Yeah.
You know, Doncaster, believe it or not, talk about Fergie time. It's his son who's in charge of Doncaster, Darren Ferguson.
Yeah.
You know.
And how they look?
Now they've won their last 3 games. They're coming right.
Yeah.
So I've, likewise, size of the perm. I've banked them.
Okay. And then Luton,
The
Wickham.
Mad Hatters, they're going well this year. They knocked Aston Villa out of the League Cup
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago. So I'm bankering them. Morecambe, Leyton Orient. Morecambe, believe it or not, are top of the league.
Yeah.
Leyton Orient. Yeah,
Well,
strong
this is the
squad.
second division.
This is League 2, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've gone Morecambe in the draw. Portsmouth should beat Crawley.
Yeah.
And
They
then
were
the Oval
relegated,
against
weren't they?
Blackpool.
Portsmouth, they were.
Yeah, they were. They've gone
Yeah.
down the leagues, but they've been in League 2 for a couple of seasons.
Yeovil.
Yeovil, Blackpool, 2 struggling teams. Also because of the size of the perm. I was going to go 1 and 2, but they're both struggling. Yeovil have played the top 5 for the top 5 teams in the league and competed quite comfortably with them. So I've gone them a banker.
Apparently there's a big carryover
Yep, 9 million carryover. They're expecting over 30 million
in the pool.
in the pool. Yeah.
And if you go and take your bet, you get your percentage of that 30 million. Doesn't matter, where you are in South Africa.
Well, with
or-
these results, James, sorry, it should be a nice payout.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to.
Oh, we're going to have a dip. That's guaranteed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got a couple of Budgie's best bets coming up on the screen. Or no, we got another Soccer 6.
Yeah, this is the International Soccer 6, James,
Okay.
on Sunday. We've gone Poland in the draw, looking for a result. Lithuania, Slovenia, we've gone 1, 2, and 3. Likewise, Slovakia, England, 1, 2, and 3. I don't see the Czechs losing to Northern Ireland. And I think Scotland and Germany, of those pools, look standout bets. So I've banked those 2.
So that's a nice bet on Sunday to take a few times after you won the Soccer 13 on
I
Saturday.
know people will bank a Poland, and then it's 108 Rand.
Yeah.
But I always like to try and upset the apple cart and throw a draw in where it could be a dodgy game, yeah.
Well, I've played these bets on a number of occasions, as you have, and it's quite interesting how you suddenly find what makes them pay is that you find something that you think to yourself,
Yeah,
I didn't think that could happen. That's why you like to throw those things
Paul,
in.
the way our players are like, you've got to go to beat 1 or 2 of the good things. I've always gone against Arsenal. They were out of form. I got shown up the other week. But next week I'll do the same thing. But there's some teams are hard to beat.
Manchester United supporters go against Arsenal.
Well,
We
last year I
accept
went
that.
against United all the time, But no, you just have to make a stand and say,
Yeah.
I don't trust them.
Yeah.
and I'm going against them.
Okay, so just on that, who would you be backing to win the Premier League this year?
I think Man City have the best squad. You know, injuries will obviously play a part in it. You know, United will be in the firing line. I just don't know if we've got the squad good enough to win it.
Okay, well, with that, let's go and have a look at what Budgie suggests we have a bet on the weekend. We outright bets: Germany, Scotland, Romania, all to win, 5-2.
500 to 200. Yeah, we spend R1,000 here as usual, James. So
Yeah.
we have 5 200 bets. So that's the first one. Yeah.
Bolton, Doncaster Rovers, Luton Town. You get 1,200 to 200.
1,200
These
to
three.
200,
That's a good price.
Yeah, it's all those lower leagues are always difficult, James.
Yeah.
But on current form, those are the three teams that I like.
Then we move on to both teams to score, and this is an interesting bet which you've introduced to us because there's some good value in these type of bets.
It's not a bet most people know, but the value is slowly is becoming better. In England, it's a massive market.
Yeah.
You know, my dad and my brother, they play it daily, let alone on the weekends.
Yeah.
And you know, if you have a look there, we've got Peterborough and Swindon, Millwall and Bradford, and Oldham, Shrewsbury. All they've got to do is score one each.
Yeah.
Whether it's 3-2, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't
6-1, it doesn't matter.
And then you go the other one, which is obviously the good things: Carlisle and Newport and Morecambe.
Yeah. Those
950
also
to 2.
both teams to score, yeah. So one is a League One and the other one is a League Two.
I like the next bet, the over 2.5 goals, because you've obviously earmarked teams that will score goals. And Norway, Germany, you think that game there'll be goals?
Yeah, I
and
think the Germans
Slovakia,
will destroy
India,
them.
England, there'll be goals.
Yeah, you know, I look at also the value. I can't take 1-3s and 1-4s and all that, James,
Correct.
when I'm doing these over 2.5 goals. The worst thing about the over 2.5 goals is if Germany are 2-0 up,
Yeah.
they just cruise, they go through the motions. That's the worst thing about the over 2.5 goals. But I think there'll be goals in both of those.
What I've noticed, if Arsenal are 2 or 3-0 up, then you can make sure they're going to get goals scored against them.
I think every week there'll be goals scored against Arsenal.
Well, that's the lot from us on Onside, and very interesting, Budgie, but big opportunities, especially the Soccer 13.
Well, especially let's hope the punters bear that in mind with the cancelled game, because nobody else in the country will know about it.
Well done to you, because as usual, Budgie's got all the answers. Thanks to Delron for joining us here for the first part of the show, and we hope you have a great soccer weekend.